and hippity hop. I'm as happy as I can be. Whoa, boom, boom, and hippity zoom.
Welcome to Cigar Audit. Matt, Edward, Mateo, and Matthias here to go over Deadwood Cigars Crazy Alice, which is made by Drew Estate. So let's start up with what it looks and feels like. Mr. Ed.
Well, it is a pyramid shape, I guess you'd call it.
No. Trumpet.
With a rat tail. It's kind of rustic looking. It has a very unique foot where I guess the rat...
Closed foot.
Yeah, closed foot, but it's not flat. It's a little different.
Little yellow different.
I didn't say yellow.
Teasing, you don't remember what that's from.
No, apparently not.
No, I'll teach you about Newprin later.
No.
Anyway,
I smell chocolate, but I did just need a piece of chocolate. Do you guys smell chocolate on yours at all?
actually there is a cocoa,
Okay, good.
A sweet-
I thought so.
Yeah,
a sugary cocoa
Yeah.
for sure.
reminds me of Boston chocolate.
Right.
Like a
Never
cherry
know what you're
corn,
gonna
like
get.
a cherry cordial
So on
chocolate.
a pyramid-shaped cigar, then it's... Yes, there are. They call them pyramids.
They do.
Are they box pressed cones?
No.
I don't like it.
Well, to share the information, traditionally cigars were shaped like this. They were longer and they were called trumpets. So I would call this a trumpet.
Did you still
It's
draw
not-
it in the air, or did you just blow it out?
Alright.
Well, then how is this different than a pyramid, other than the length?
Well, pyramids got sides and it's made out of bricks and
That's
it's
important
usually
right now.
like they have like two.
You
Like
can't have a pigtail on a cone.
This is not going well.
That's true.
All
I
right.
didn't think of that.
They do call it Crazy Alice.
That's why it's crazy.
Yes, loca.
What about you, Matthias? What does your cigar look and feel like? Let's try this again.
Mine is looking nice. For the odd shaped roll, the
Yep.
seams are very tight. Waxy wrapper
Mhm.
on mine. Smells delicious. Reminds me of childhood and an uncle who smoked a pipe. That's what I'm.
Yeah, it's got a little of those notes that sweet, almost like a
yeah,
cherry
the
type
cherry,
tobacco.
like a cherry tobacco.
Cocoa and pipe tobacco, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
and it's got the tail.
Yep.
I'm not going to define the tail, but it's got a tail. So I'm excited to fire it up.
I also noticed that the outer leaf's very textured.
Mm-hmm.
The wrapper has a lot of texture to it.
It does. The seams are like completely invisible. Can't see any of them. And you know, the closed foot, more of a gimmick more than anything. But sometimes it actually can be a pain in the ass to toast. So
These are hard to toast.
yeah. So let's get these cut. Let's try whatever pre-light we can get out of it.
Like having tactile all up in there.
All right, Mateo. What about your pre-light?
Well, my lips are super sweet now.
Yes, they are.
I took off the tail. You can see here. I didn't take off much.
Mhm.
Kept it, pretty narrow, and I was expecting a very tight draw, and it's not. It's actually pretty open.
Yeah, even with the closed foot.
Yeah, so closed foot, very narrow snip, and it's pretty open.
You gotta
Very
try to
sweet.
keep Mr. Ed awake. Matthias, your pre-light.
Again, the sweet tip, very sweet. Surprisingly open. I've never tried to pre-draw a closed foot cigar, but they draw right through. So yeah, sweet.
Yeah, I think it's just overwhelmingly sweet. Probably sugar tip, knowing Drew Estate. They say these aren't infused. I don't know if I believe it, but so far pretty much just sugar and kind of slight cherry tobacco. What about you, Mr. Ed?
Same.
Yeah, I think that there's a little secret in here. So since we were there, I won't divulge it, but I did see these being made. So I think they have a little extra kick. Whatever it's made out of, I don't know, but that's probably what gives it its sweetness. So let's get these lit up and see how Crazy Alice tastes. So I'll start with you, Mateo. Your opening thoughts since we were just chatting.
Yeah, my first couple puffs here just taste like straight milk chocolate, and then the sugar tip, it's just a very sweet chocolatey taste. and it's very pleasant.
Yeah, Matthias?
I'm gonna build off of that good description and add a little bit of toasted bread to it too on my palate.
Yeah, I definitely get a breadiness. The chocolate's there, that natural sugar flavor, probably still from the tip. And as you can see, it's like a brush fire on the end of the cigar, like most brew estates. But yeah, it's definitely very sweet and flavorful right off the bat. How about you, Mr. Ed? You get your guy all lit up?
Yeah, thanks. It's but very sweet. I did get a little bit hints of the bread that Matt was talking about, I think. From smoking these a lot, the sweetness kind of hopefully will subside a little bit and you can get a lot more of the tobacco flavors as it goes down finally.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's still not like an acid. It's nothing that's overwhelming like that, but still has a lot of sweetness.
To some people, it's very overwhelming.
Yeah.
The sugar cap is
strong.
pretty sweet.
Yeah, very sweet.
Yeah, the sugar cap is really strong. These, and we were talking earlier, we've all smoked these before. Some of us may not remember that, but we did smoke them before, so. I didn't. So, these are what I call a good palate cleanser. Because it is so sweet. If you've smoked a few cigars and you smoke one of these in between another cigar, it does kind of help clean the palate. So let's smoke this down. We're going to do first half, second half. So once we get past the first halfway point, we'll let you know how it was.
It's like I'm smoking a Hershey bar.
Anyway, welcome back to Cigar Audit. Matt, Edward, Mateo, and Matthias here to go over the first half of Crazy Alice, which is smoking like craziness. It's unbelievable. Hard to breathe. Anyway, I'll start with you, Mr. Ed. How has your first half been?
Well, it's not as sweet as it was. Mine's definitely, I hope you guys mellowed out on the sweetness.
Mine's more sweet on the retrohale, less sweet on my lips. Like the sugariness has died down, but the sweet spices have picked up.
Yeah, well, now you're getting, like I suspected, a lot lot more of the tobacco.
Oh, look at that ring. Beautiful.
Was that mine? I've been doing them all day by mistake. I guess it's because my mouth was always
like a blow-up
And that's
doll.
perfect. Thank you for doing that on camera.
But the blended tobaccos is still a very sweet spice-based blend. I guess there's not a lot of earth in there. It's a very unusual blend, the one that I haven't come across other than in this line.
Yeah, I would say that it does have some sweet spices to it. There's a little bit of earth there. Sometimes the sweetness dies down but then kicks back up, which is part of that blend in there. As far as flavors are concerned, I think it's that milk chocolate, definitely like a white pepper, cinnamon, nutmeg. But occasionally there's something else in there. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's the white pepper mixing in. But anyway, it's all right. It's not a bad stick. What about you?
Before I lit it, it smelled like chocolate. After I lit it, the first quarter had chocolate on the draw, on the finish, on the retrohale. It was like smoking a Hershey bar. Just pure milk chocolate for me for at least the first quarter, and then it started to transition. The chocolate's dialed down and getting the cinnamon and nutmeg, just sweet spices. Mine's been consistently sweet the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty tasty.
What about you, Matthias?
Much the same, chocolatey, spicy, sweet.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Real estate is now owned by Swisher Sweets. So
well, yeah.
maybe this is a Swisher Sweet.
And
or-
the sweetened tip is not as sweet any longer.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of balanced out the lost some of that super sweet from the beginning, but it's good. A little bit of maybe a little bit of toast here and there, a little earth. So.
Yeah, I think it's not a complex cigar by any means, but when you smoke it, if you've ever had one, it is hard to recognize this as a non-infused. It's not supposed to be infused, but could have fooled me. It definitely is more along the lines of the tobacco type of flavor profile, tobacco special, which I do like for a change of pace every once in a while. But supposedly it's all natural, no infusion. But I don't know. You smoke one and you tell us what you think. So yeah.
I'm just hitting the midpoint here, and I'm starting to get the spice, actual heat through the retrohale and on my tongue, like a peppery, hot spice.
Yeah, I haven't
a little
gotten
bit
much of that, but
that's the first I've gotten, and this was about halfway through.
I would say most of what I'm getting is just white pepper.
Yeah, mild, very mild white pepper for me.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll finish this guy up, and we'll let you know how Crazy Alice finishes.
Chocolate's back.
Chocolate's back.
Cayenne chocolate.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. We'll be back.
I can dig it.
Welcome back to Cigar Audit. Matt, Edward, Mateo, and Matthias here to go over the second half of Crazy Alice. So I'll start with you, Matthias. Your second half, sir.
She's crazy.
She is crazy. One crazy bitch.
Crazy. The chocolate and candy of the first half kind of moved into more of a straightforward tobacco, sweet, some spice in the second half. Had some chocolate in the beginning of the second half, popped in and out, but then it's kind of been straightforward from there.
Yeah. What about you, Mateo?
Same.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was very chocolate for the first. Second half, it went into some cinnamon, different sweet spices, but that chocolate keeps coming back. For a few of the retrohales, I did actually get some spice, a bit of heat. Not much. It's overall pretty mild and sweet flavors.
Yeah, I think it's moved more to a natural tobacco, earth, and sweetness, a generic sweetness. Occasionally a little bit of that chocolate, but nothing like the first half in general. So what about you, Edward?
Well, I didn't get much chocolate. I very rarely taste the chocolate in cigars, and it progressed more from for me like a candy sweetness to just like a sweet paprika type thing as we move further down. So it's more like just a sweet tobacco taste, whereas the first half is more like a candy sweetness to me. Like I said, the chocolate, I don't know.
You didn't get the chocolate. It definitely was there. Not as much as a tobacco special, but certainly there nonetheless. Very different type of cigar. Not one that we typically review because it is more straight ahead and not overly complex. So now the fun part comes where I'm going to ask you to rate your cigar.
Why are you going to ask me first?
All right, well, I'll ask Matthias then.
Okay.
Screw you. Matthias. Rate your cigar, sir.
Construction and everything, it was good. It burned well. It didn't have any issues. The flavors, it's a somewhat flavored cigar. I'm coming in at I'd have to say like an 88.
Okay. What about you, Mateo?
I'm going to give it a 90. Tobacco Special is probably my favorite stick ever. It's my go-to, and it has a similar flavor profile. It has a good milk chocolate flavor, which I like just fine. Not a whole lot of complexity, very straightforward, but enjoyable.
I'm going to be at an 88 just because I think that it's not a bad cigar. Really no complexity at all. Pretty much straight ahead. There's one transition really, but I think that's because of the vitola is so much more tobacco in the beginning that you get more of those strong chocolatey sweet flavors, and then you get less of them as you get further down. But in general, not a bad cigar. A change of pace cigar for me. I like more traditional, natural flavored smokes, even though this is supposedly 100% non-infused, but I'm not sure if I believe it 100%. So, what about you, Edward?
Well, I like
1,000.
no, I like these. I like the whole Deadwood line. I use them mostly as a palate cleanser. You know, may smoke a couple of these a week. I'm going to give this a 90. I think if you like infused cigars, this is the one that you would want to get. The Sweet Alice is not quite as sweet as this, and then the Fat Bottom Betty, if you don't like infused cigars, is the one that's the least sweet, I guess. And that's the one I will go to. I mean, I think they're worth trying. They're not
$6-7 a stick, something like that.
Oh no.
I don't know what they are.
In a shop, these will be 8 something.
Oh, will they? Okay.
Yeah. Box price, you can get them for maybe $6 a stick.
Okay.
Even if you don't like infused cigars, I wouldn't shy away from these, but I would definitely start with the Fat Bottom Betty. See if you like that, because they all have a similar type of. I don't know if they use the same tobacco, but they have a similar taste. I guess, you know, for the infusion, you guys say that you're not convinced they're not infused, but it doesn't have that artificial infused flavor. Like even a Tobacco Special, to me, compared to a standard stick, still has a little bit of that artificial, even though it's supposed to be natural and everything. To me, it still has that artificial taste. Like additive, and then of course a lot of the acids definitely taste to me that way.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think it's an in between as far as that type of flavor palette cigar. But I would also say that, and I do think the Fat Bottom Betty is the one I like the most out of these. But still, a good change of pace. Try it out. You know, you can't go wrong. You know the construction's going to be good. It's Drew Estate. It's going to smoke like crazy, so try to be in a well-ventilated area and test the one out. Certainly not a box buy unless you already know that you like these cigars. And might be that good gateway cigar, so to speak, for those that are into infused cigars to work their way out of cigars. So maybe the other way around, if you're into acids, it might be a gateway drug.
I would recommend. I recommend that you buy a box of each. If you don't like them, send them here.
Yeah.
We'll enjoy them for you.
Send them to Mateo. He'll definitely take them.
Absolutely.
So, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Check us out on the Institute, Twitter, social media stuff, and don't forget to check out CigarAudit.com. Any lasting words? All right. See you next time. Peace.